If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question, what have you missed out on in your life due to anxiety? Answer by Ethan Red. All the typical teenage experiences people are meant to have in their youth. I have social anxiety. Have since I was around 9. Since then, I have made very few close friends, and had virtually no significant life experiences outside my own home. Throughout secondary school, I made around 3 good friends total. And I never socialized outside of school. All contact of people my own age stopped as soon as I stepped out of those gates. I had no social media to talk online, and my anxiety extended over the phone anyway. I wasn't close enough to anyone to be casually invited out. It didn't help that I never initiated any social interactions. My own birthday parties were always awkward to deal with, since my parents had no idea what I was dealing with. And at the time, neither did I. I simply thought it was just how I was. I never interacted with other people enough to get any significant anxiety attacks. During the last year of school, my 8th or 9th, lost count, therapist mentioned how I may have something called social anxiety. He didn't help any more than that. Like all the previous therapists I had prior, I was always too anxious to have a conversation with them. He decided he wasn't bothered to try and help me about 2 sessions later, and dropped me as a patient. Again, like the other therapists, I have a negative feeling towards therapy now. I did my own online research for several weeks, and brought a self-help book on social anxiety and shyness. I couldn't bring myself to read the book. For some reason I just couldn't accept this was me. And Emory of self-diagnosis of mental conditions. Then Amy, the first girl I had a crush on, and who reciprocated the feeling, God knows why, invited me to her birthday drink-up. Apparently teenagers in the UK get drunk. I had no idea this was normal. That day emotionally overwhelmed me to seemingly no end. I was part of a large group of teenagers socializing in a park. This was so new and different for me. I realized my heart was beating way too fast, and that my hands were shaking uncontrollably. I felt disconnected from my surroundings, almost as if I was in a dream. I seemed to forget how to breathe. This was one of many anxiety attacks to come in the coming months. Somehow, I convinced myself to dismiss this strange feeling as if it was nothing. I only truly accepted my anxiety a few weeks later at prom, in which my hands were shaking so much that I couldn't hold a drink in my hand without spilling it. At this point I could no longer tell myself I was just a naturally shy kid. While the increased anxiety due to increased socializing felt, well, shit. The context of why this was occurring made me feel so good. I had more life experiences, more stories to tell, in a whole week after that party than I had all my previous years put together. Social anxiety was not part of me, but a parasite within my brain which affected my emotions. I myself wanted to hang out with friends, or just people in general. My anxiety was telling me no, but I fought against those feelings, and went out to social meetups every time my anxiety wasn't too strong. And now, many months later in a new 6th form, I have made more new close friends than all my prior years of being alive. Of course it's been difficult. I still feel anxious a lot of the time, and may have the occasional anxiety attack every few weeks. But I ignore it. Emotions only affect your life as much as you allow them to affect your physical actions, to a reasonable extent. Of course, I haven't told anyone in my life about this, largely due to the fact that a self-diagnosis isn't a legitimate way of saying you have any kind of mental condition. But I'm helping myself and, hopefully, it'll get better as time goes on. Answer by Cushy Sarnet. I get really bad anxiety sometimes, and usually I have tricks to deal with it or mitigate its effect, but sometimes it gets so bad that nothing I do helps and you just have to wait it out. One of the worst days I remember was last year during homecoming. The day of. In the morning I had to go to a college with my parents and then come home quickly, get ready, and then go to take pictures, and then go to dinner, and then go to the dance, and then later that night go to an after party. It was a packed day. When my then boyfriend came to pick me up at home, my anxiety hit me hard. I was walking down the stairs and more than anything in the world I wanted to run away and hide, but I couldn't do that because people were counting on me. I got into the car with my ex and right away he noticed I wasn't myself and was breathing heavy, trying to calm down. This silly boy who I cared deeply about tried everything to help me feel less empty and panicked, but the more he tried the less it helped. Instead of showing I was getting worse and internalized the anxiety and kept forcing to smile and seem happy and as normal as possible so I wouldn't make a sense in front of my friends and ruin their night. BTW, it's senior year and the last homecoming, so I really didn't want to start drama. All through the night I wanted to throw up because all my insides were doing jumping jacks because of anxiety. I didn't even eat dinner, afraid I will actually throw up. The night would have been so much fun and everyone I was with said they had fun while I wasn't me the whole night. I couldn't even properly talk to my boyfriend all night. I didn't want to be around people, but I was surrounded by like 100 people all night. It was gonna be a night I would add to the final chapter of my high school years, but it turned out to be the worst night. Not because of the people around me but because of my own anxiety. Answer by Daisy Bennington. I really love the beach, love water and love the sand. Unfortunately, I hate my legs. Correction, chicken legs. My calves absolutely do not match the rest of my body. In lacking any muscle definition whatsoever into me, it's bordering a deformity. And yes, people stare. Therefore, I can't go to the beach. The anxiety just ruins it for me. Some of you may say that's something I can fix with a good workout routine, and I would say you're correct, but I hate exercising more than anything else. Mind you, even been thinking about it lately. Whether I can stick to the overwhelming pain and sheer disdain of working out is another story. It has gotten slightly better with age. On the right day, with the right outfit, with some bronzer, I may wear a pencil skirt. But someone during the day will always comment on how skinny my legs are. I guess the difference is when I was younger, child into teens, it was a bullying situation and it took me 3 decades to realize people in their 40s will not bully me. Trauma from bullying can last a disgustingly long time.